This is a story of two women. The two women are the same person, but they do not exist at the same time. The two women crossed paths on August 12th, but you should know up front, this is not a story about a perfect ending.
For thousands of years, humans have captured thoughts to make them last. There's something about putting pen to paper that feels important, like adding your voice to a conversation that's been happening for centuries.
So, what if you can write to yourself?
I never thought I'll find out until I found 7 letters in my own handwriting. Letters I didn't write, and they were all signed by me, age 47. But I'm only 33. Dear Amy, this is you from the future. Letter 1 of 7. Don't overthink it, just follow the instruction. Remember in year 1 when Mrs. Bleep said you were slow at collecting everyone's homework for class rep duties in front of the whole class? For the rest of the school year, you were called slow. You went home feeling like you just couldn't handle simple responsibilities, like you weren't capable of doing basic things that other kids could do easily. But here's what I know now. She had just separated from her husband and was overwhelmed with 40 plus kids in the class. You weren't slow or incompetent. Collecting 40 pieces of homework when you were 7 is a monumental task.
She just didn't see that through her own chaos. This is signed by me, age 47. P.S. You get really good at baking sourdough bread again. Don't ask me how I know you're thinking about that. Age 47. That's 14 years from now. And she's right about the sourdough thing. I've been thinking about starting that again. There's a letter hint. Flip to page 116 of Ikigai. There's more letters.
Dear Amy, this is letter 2 of 7. Remember in high school how misunderstood we felt by mom and dad about studying? We weren't cramming late, but we were doing fine. Still, the pressure was there, especially when their friends brag about how hardworking the kids were. But here's the thing, mom and dad were figuring out too. They had never raised a teenager. The world was changing. They wanted the best for us. But they were learning how to support us while we were learning how to be supported. That frustration we felt, that nothing was ever enough. It wasn't about them doubting you. They just didn't have a manual. It was their first time being parents. Forgive yourself. Dear Amy, this is letter 3 of 7. Remember when someone said we were abandoning our parents by choosing Australia? We carried that guilt for years, because part of us wonder if it was true. Being the only child, torn between what we wanted and what others expected. But here's the truth. Sometimes the people closest to you say the harshest things when they're afraid of being left behind. What we did wasn't abandonment. We were discovering ourselves. Mom and dad were scared, yes, but they were proud too. They just didn't know how to show it. That crossroad between duty and dreams, every only child in our culture faces it. We chose the harder path. It felt wrong at the time and maybe it always will, but it was right for who we were becoming. Dear Amy, this is letter 4 of 7. Remember those first few weeks in Australia? Walking into classrooms where everyone already had their history, inside jokes, lunch circles, their own little world. We felt like an outsider trying to join something already formed. But here's the truth, that struggle to find our place was exactly what we needed. The loneliness taught you to be comfortable with yourself, to build your world from the ground up, not just join someone else's. It led you to your best friend, your flatmates turned lifelong friends, your partner in crime. These are your people who knows you truly. They will always be there for us. Trust me on this one. This is letter 5 of 7. Dear Amy, we were standing at another crossroads in 2014, weren't we? This time, it felt more terrifying. The visa had an expiration date, a ticking clock on our future. We thought if we failed, it would mean starting over again, that we were selfish for not going home but still failed. Those 6 months as a research assistant, not knowing if the scholarship would come through, I remember that wait. We have become such a different person. But Australia wasn't quite home yet either, never having solid footing in either place.
But here's the truth. That complicated feeling of being torn between two places, two homes, you're going to feel that again and again. That's life.
There are no right or wrong decisions. There are only choices and the person we become because of them. This is letter 6 of 7. Dear Amy, the end of our PhD was truly an end of an era. We were no longer a student. We wonder whether we will find the same feelings again. Moving through that research lab, then the hospital lab, then the startup, each time discovering the same patterns. Colleagues making work their entire identity, insecure people choosing posturing over honest conversation. Senior colleagues getting uncomfortable when you did well. We took it personally when they seemed threatened. Not everyone appreciates our ruthless honesty. But here's what I see now. We were watching people who had given up dreams for safety, and sometimes not out of choice. They had learned that rocking the boat meant getting their fire extinguished. That senior colleague who dismissed you whenever the boss was around, she was just insecure. That manager who gaslit you, he's been playing the game for far too long. Those meaningless office politics, people fighting for scraps of significance in the only system they knew. We weren't meant to fit in. What you perceive as personal attacks were really just broken people protecting what little power and control they had left. With love, your future self will learn when to fight and when to find a different battlefield.
Letter to Amy, number 7. Dear Amy, this is the last letter. You're about to turn 34 in November. You've been rebuilding your life piece by piece. Mom has been gone for over 2 years now, and you're still learning how to navigate this world without her. I know people keep telling you how brave you are, how strong, but I also know you're wondering if you're making the right choice. All those what ifs, if things don't work out. Here's what I need you to know. There are 2 certainties in being human: birth and death. It will hurt every single time you lose someone you love, but that's part of life. The only way we get through it is to feel the pain fully in the moment and still choose to love ourselves. Forgive ourselves and others. Choose to be a better person little by little.
And about this whole starting over thing, quitting your job, leaving signs, creating videos, stick with it. I know it feels scary and the growth is slow. Anything good takes time to build. The people who will appreciate what you have to say will eventually find us.
With love and fierce pride in you, your future self will learn that grief and growth can coexist.
This isn't a story about a perfect ending because perfect endings don't exist. The letters stopped after the last one. Some conversations only happen once, but every time she starts spiraling and wondering what someone else's behavior means about her, she hears her own voice. Most of what happens to you isn't about you, and that's the most liberating truth you'll ever learn. Most days are unremarkable. They begin, they end, and leave no trace. But once in a while, a letter arrives. Those are the days that change everything. This was the story of two women, the same person, 14 years apart. And on August 12th, they helped each other remember how to be free.
That's a wrap. Thank you for watching episode 5 of my Reflections Before 34 series. If you like my style of storytelling and you like episodes like that, please like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. This episode has been a bit emotional and personal to write. Obviously, I've chosen to present it in a way that my future self wrote the letters to my current self. And I wanted it to be a one-time only, a one-day occurrence. But all those are my words and my thoughts. It's definitely taken me down a memory lane, reliving some of the memories that I probably subconsciously or chosen to forget. But I think it's an important step to forgive myself and try to see it from a different perspective. And it's very much related to one of the short reels that I've made recently called Your Brain is a Prison. And I think looking back, we probably all had memories like that. You know, someone said something bad to you in school, you gotten some bad days at work, colleagues was mean, someone cut you off in traffic, or some childhood memories that you didn't think mattered, but subconsciously you probably took it to heart for a longest time, and that shapes our behavior today, I think. And sometimes the only way to move forward is to look in the past and then allow yourself to let go of it. And I just want to do a quick shout out to those of you who have been sticking around since day one, watching my films, following my journey. Thank you for subscribing and thank you for commenting on every single videos I put out. I really appreciate it. And I never thought anyone would give their time and attention to watch what I put out there, but thank you. And I wish all of you well. You know, nothing dramatic, but just happier every day, more calm every day, and find what you're looking for in life. And I hope your life gets better every day, little by little. Okay, enough yapping. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.